Hi guys, it's Mrs. Kushner, and today we are tackling Asking Effective Questions Part 1. In this video, you are going to learn about the first 2 levels of thinking. That's right, there are different levels of thinking. All right, for this video, you are going to need your Asking Effective Questions Part 1 notes, a pencil, and 6 different colored pencils. Go ahead, pause the video, get the supplies you need, and then when you're ready, click play. All right, so I mentioned this levels of thinking thing. Well, Bloom's taxonomy is a way to break down our thinking into different levels. This guy, Bloom, a researcher, and his team of brainiacs, they said, well, we can think of, there's different types of thinking, and we can break out thinking into the levels. So really, Bloom's taxonomy is just a way to break down thinking into categories. Now, I want you to pause your video and color in your picture of Bloom's taxonomy to match this picture. You don't need all the descriptions off to the side. You just need to label each level and color it in a color so it's easy for your eyes to see the different levels. Go ahead, color, and then click play when you're ready to move forward. All right, so you can see here we have remember and understand at the bottom, and then we have going up from the bottom, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. In today's video, we are focused on just those bottom 2, remember and understand. Now, even though they're at the bottom, they are not least important. They're all equally important levels. They're just at the bottom because they hold everything else up. If you can't do those, then you can't do the higher things. You have to remember and understand before you can do those other levels of thinking. Now, I know, why does this matter? And great question, why does this matter? Well, it turns out that if you answer questions and if you create or come up with questions at the different levels of thinking, it actually makes what you're learning more interesting. It also makes you remember it better, and it makes you understand it better. So this is a powerhouse strategy. By writing questions about something or answering questions about something, you become better at that something. All right, so diving into our first level, our base level, remembering. When you think of remembering, I want you to think of the clue phrase, the facts you know about a topic. The facts you know. So what this is, when you remember, you are opening up your mental filing cabinet. That's right, your brain has a filing cabinet in it, and you are going into that filing cabinet and pulling out the file with the information, opening it up and saying, ah, I remember it. It's right there in my file. So I've given you a bunch of different example questions for remembering. Let's look at a couple. If I ask you to define protagonist, I'm asking you to go into your mental filing cabinet, pull out the definition, and repeat it to me. It also could be that I ask you to list something in order, list the order of operations in math in order. Or it could be that I ask you, what is Roblox? That's a remembering question. You don't have to know how to play it. You just have to remember what Roblox is to answer the question. All right, next up is understanding. And when you hear understanding, I want you to think the clue words in your own words, because you truly know something and you truly understand it when you can explain it in your own words. So instead of define protagonist, you know you understand protagonist when you can give me an example of a protagonist in a story. Similarly, if I ask you to describe what a game of Roblox looks like, now I know you understand it because you can actually describe it. I can tell you it's a video game, I remember that, but I do not understand what it looks like or what a game looks like. All right, or last, what's the main idea? If your teacher says, what's the main idea of this article? They're asking you to basically show if you understand it. All right, so remembering and understanding, to put these in context, I call these right there questions. And that's because when you are asked a remembering or an understanding question, the answer is going to be right there in the material that you studied. So right there in the book you read or right there in your notes. You don't have to go any deeper. You can find the answer on the page. So there's a right or a wrong to these right there questions. All right, in this video, you've learned about the first 2 levels of thinking, remember and understand. Next time, we will tackle the next 2 levels of thinking. Great work today, and I will see you next time.